Hi, I'm Sebastian, and I am wanting to read from my book, Zeroing Out. Oh, that's upside down. Zeroing Out, The Secret to Peace and Personal Power. You'll want to get this book because this book teaches you how to get out of your mind, especially at night or during the day when you're having a lot of anxiety. I want to read from the chapter called The Opposite of Peace. This is chapter 5. After a traumatic event, we tend to carry some anxiety about any similar situation into the future. A small amount of this anxiety, however, can keep you on the verge of panic. If you've been diagnosed with post traumatic stress disorder or PTSD, then you have a tragic or terrifying event that is anchored in your subconscious mind like a ferocious tiger crouching down. PTSD allows your brain to silently search for danger from anything that even looks like the original culprit. So, for instance, you were in a car wreck. If a car starts coming up close to you on the left, you might feel the same sense of PTSD. That's what happened to me actually after my three car accidents. I mean, a car cutting you off, a car zipping past you, a motorcyclist coming. I mean, this brings the same kind of PTSD trigger that I had initially when I was in the wrecks. These signs may also appear in dreams and when something similar appears when you're awake. PTSD can also cause a low level of daily anxiety to sustain fear just enough that it creates an overage of cortisol and adrenaline, keeping you awake most of the night and feeling on the edge of panic. And trust me, I know what that feels like. Most times, the triggers are hidden from your understanding awakened mind. Remember the allegory I shared in chapter 1 about coming home to find a ferocious tiger lurking in your front yard? My mother had had far too many surgeries for one woman. She was 88 when she began to show signs of mental deterioration. She was in pain most of the day. At night, she tended to remain awake, even though she was extremely tired. I believe that the reason she couldn't sleep was because she was afraid of not waking up at all. It's difficult to talk to a parent with this kind of fear lingering in her brain. For 3 months, she was bombarded with confusion and a lack of memory that kept her from knowing the difference between day and night. She had sundown syndrome, which means she got more confused in the evenings while trying to sleep and waking up frequently to use the bathroom because of diabetes. Getting a little sad about this. When my mother was in my home visiting, I always made sure I had something planned for her the next day. I kept days regimented. We got up at a specific time together. We ate at a specific time. We went on a walk at a certain time. This regimentation is so important when you get older, and most importantly, when your worst fear begins to awaken fear of death. And we all have this. Anxious people must plan what will occur directly after their perceived fear, especially if it's a known fear. Excuse me. For instance, if you're afraid of flying while on the plane, imagine what you'll say to your family and friends as you meet them in the airport after the flight. So the objective is to imagine something beyond the fear. That awakened imagination part of your brain is what will help you get through the anxious feelings. Fear can sometimes live inside you for much too long, growing like cancer. There's an old legend from the Middle Ages. A citizen was arrested by an angry baron. He was taken down dark stairs, down, down, down by a ferocious jailer who carried a great key, a foot long, and thrust him into a dark dungeon. The door shut with a bang. The citizen lay in that dark dungeon for 20 years. Each day the jailer would come, the big door would open with a great creaking. Pitcher of water and a loaf of bread would be thrust in. Then the door closed again. After 20 years, the prisoner decided that he could not stand the seclusion any longer. He wanted to die, but he did not want to commit suicide. So he decided that the next day, when the jailer came, he would attack him. The jailer would then kill him in self defense, and ultimately the citizen's misery would end. He decided to examine the door then to be prepared for the next day when the jailer entered. To his amazement, the large door wasn't locked. Actually, there was not even a lock on the door. All those years he had not been locked in the dungeon in his imprisonment, except in his mind. And any time he could have opened the door, if only he had known, if only he had tried to escape his misery. People usually don't become ready for big changes until they hear a deadly prognosis. I see this all the time in my hypnosis practice. People come in to quit smoking or to diet when they're on the verge of a heart attack or lung cancer or some kind of cancer. Then they are sometimes forced to change. This happens because they no longer are able to do what they normally did in their life to make them happy, or to cause a smokescreen around them to keep them from their fear. Life seems to push them on their way to change. Even still, they'll resist. For example, with the fear of planes and flying, you may experience the need to change your irrational fear when you must fly to your daughter's wedding on another continent, when you must do something that grips you with that old fear, then you push at that fear strongly, like the door in the story, and make a shift in your thinking. The other choice is that life goes on without you. This isn't something that you want. And zeroing out the secret path to peace and personal power. This book will steady you, will bring you back to zero, to the place where there is no more negativity. There is no place for the negativity. The brain becomes empty of negative thought. That's what you're aiming for. And then you can build on that by rewriting your story, putting new thought, new ideas into your subconscious mind. This is the idea for zeroing out. If you would like to look in the comments below or in the description below, you'll find all that you need to know about how to get to my website and the book Zeroing Out and other books I've written